Good morning, everyone. This is Mortgage Pros 411. I'm Audery with Kevin Casey, and today we are joined by none other than Katey Dallosto. Good morning, Katey.
Good morning. How's everybody doing today?
We're good. Okay, so in full disclosure, I was very excited that I was able to finally figure out how to, in Zoom, change the subject line so when the reminder went out, it said what we were talking about. What went wrong, I just realized recently, was that I did not disclose correctly. So, kids, we do not have a 5-minute business plan. We have a 6-minute business plan.
Oh, wait. I need to budget my time for that.
I know. I apologize, really. Okay, so
Wait, that's false. That's not, I think you might have to check with the regulators. You have teased them with the 5 minute and you
I
made it
know.
do six.
I know. Bait and switch. Bait and switch. Funny, we're going to talk about that later. So today we have the Fed meeting. It's begun, people. And later today we have a 10-year note auction. So tomorrow, if this always happens the day after the Fed meeting starts, the Fed meeting ends. So we're going to have Uncle Jerome giving a press conference. We're going to have the dot plot. We're going to have the updated summary of economic indicators and a rate decision. So here's the question. The markets have, okay, this is more of a statement than the question. The markets have already priced in that the Fed is going to cut the rates, the Fed funds rate. There's a 90% chance, 87% if we want to be precise. So then the burning question becomes, here's the question, what happens to mortgage rates? So the decision's priced in. We've had 75 basis points in cuts since September, and the rates are basically the same. So is it really going to make a difference or not?
What's the T-bill today?
Last I looked, 4.17.
4.17. So last time, the day before the Fed made their announcement, T-bill was at 3.9.
Oh,
It's interesting. It always slowly comes down to the day before. And then historically, the day the Fed announces, the rates jump up about a quarter.
okay. I'm going to
At least
say
the
that
T-bill.
I'd like to know what percentage of that statement is correct and how much you just pulled out of your ear. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
I'm
So
just
we
noticing from past experience. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just looking at past experience. What happened last time? What happened the time before? What happened the time before? That typically is what happens. Now, if the Fed comes out and says, we may be dropping a half a point later on or next week, then that would changes my whole scenario.
Well, that's why
But
the dot is so important tomorrow. I mean, that will give us an idea of what they are planning in the future and also Jerome Powell's comments. So last month they came out, they cut the rate, everything looked fine and dandy. Then he got on the microphone and whoo, it all went to HE double toothpicks. So
wait, when does the jobs report come out? That's going to be the big one.
I know. I know. It's
That's
I don't remember when the next one is, but it will be something. Okay, so just a quickie. NMLS, that's it. You know the rest. NMLS. And also tomorrow, that would be what is tomorrow? September, no, December 10th at 11:30 a.m. at Maggiano's in Santana Row in San Jose. We will be speaking at the Silicon Valley Christmas holiday, probably holiday party. And if you feel like bringing a toy for the Toys Are Tut, for I cannot speak, Toys for Tots, that'd be groovy. So we hope to see you there. And on that note, we have been at a number of events recently, and we really appreciate you coming up, telling us you listen to the show, that you love what we're doing. I mean, it really is good to hear something other than just talking into a screen every week and wondering, what the hell am I doing? Right, Kevin?
what are we doing?
That's a great question, actually. Okay, so we won't drag Katey into that conversation. So speaking of jobs, we got JOLTS this morning, job openings and labor turnover. This is for September and October. So the jobs,
Wait. So is it a combined number of the 2 months,
it's
or
the
is it?
it's 2 months together. They were similar. There was the job opening, 7.67 million. It was better than expected, but all of those gains happened in September. And again, we're in December. This was like 16 lifetimes ago. So who the hell knows what's happening right now? Well, we have some idea because we have other data since then. The hiring rate was 3.2%, which is the lowest since 2013. The quits rate was 1.8%, the lowest since 2014. That's excluding COVID, right? So the jobs report, and who knows? Because we know with JOLTS, we've had this conversation many times about whether we have multiple job postings for the same job, how accurate is it, all that. So we also had ADP. They have their weekly employment data that they release now weekly, as you recall, and they have the monthly. So we got the November report that showed that there were 32,000 job losses. They expected 40,000 job gains. So we didn't get what we wanted there. 6 out of 10 sectors were negative. But then we got the weekly report. So the one a couple weeks ago that ended November 8th showed 13,500 job losses. The one ending November 22nd showed they created 4,750 jobs. So make what you will of that. Seems like it's all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, no, from my holiday party gatherings and talking to people out there on the streets, what I'm hearing is companies are not replacing the people that leave.
That is
That
what,
that that keeps the unemployment number down or steady because they're not going on to unemployment,
yeah.
but it's not creating new jobs. So people are not coming off unemployment with the new job.
Kevin, do you only hang out with people who don't have a job?
I seem to be that's everybody hanging around with tonight is losers. They're all jobless, and then I wonder why they can't get a loan, you know.
To be clear, we do not think people who don't have a job are losers. Okay. Katey, so as we are heading into the last part of December, we really, 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 really need to be planning for this next year. And so I was listening to Brian Buffini the other day and Dr. Lawrence Yoon, one of our regular guests, and it was very interesting hearing them speak about the market. Brian Buffini really believes we're going to return to, and I quote, the rhythm of 2019, which means more seasonal, traditionally normal seasonal markets. So, a strong spring season, et cetera, right? He talked a lot about how we've had an artificial market in the last really number of years. So, and he
Hmm.
great examples of this with regard to inventory levels, days on the market, et cetera. He really pointed out that apathy is a huge issue. Are you seeing that, Katey?
Oh, absolutely. I also think I agree with Brian as far as that we'll start to see the recovery. And remember, our business has always had an ebbs and flow. We are a cyclical business, and that is not only during a 12-month year, but also cyclical as far as the peaks and valleys that happen over decades, ever since they started tracking this stuff. We had a COVID, the COVID years of absolutely insane business for mortgage and real estate there's an ebb and flow. So now we got 3 years of really low inventory, really low number of transactions. And of course, that's going to start to balance itself out, right? It's partly the cyclicalness of our business. And so I think it's what I'm hearing from a lot of people is that it's starting to, and just remember, if those of you that remember 2012, coming out of the 2008, 2009s, all of that crash, and then we had the recovery in 2012, it starts to happen from the coast. So you'll start to see the changes, and Brian Buffini is in San Diego. So you'll start to see the changes happening in the coast. And I'm starting to hear that in Southern California, a little bit in San Francisco, a little bit in that Seattle, and it takes time for it to sprinkle across to the Midwest. So any sort of national numbers are interesting and important. And at the same time, really knowing your local market is what matters. And I just remind people over and over again, people buy and sell real estate because it's a time of their life, not timing the market. It's not like, well, honey, we're pregnant with twins and our studio condo is not, we got to wait till the timing's right. No, we got to get a bigger spot. We have twins coming and there's inevitable. Yes. Are people making it work because of other things? Of course. But after 2 or 3 years of going, let's wait this out and see how it goes. At some point, you hit a breaking point. At some point, grandma can't do the second story stairs at all anymore. Why are we holding on to this 3,000 square foot 2-story house, right? It's, well, we didn't want to, but at this point, we've got to, right? So those sorts of things, and staying close to your past, I hate the word, I just got schooled that we're not supposed to say past clients, because then it makes you a past loan officer. So they are clients, they are friends, they are family, they are our sphere of influence, our network, however you want to say it. But as we are talking to people who rely on us for information about mortgage and real estate, what's going on with them? I know you've heard me do my house on market, what are rates pitch, but this is the best time of year to double the size of your database, which is not what you asked me to talk about today. So
we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. Nobody's policing this. Well, that may not be. We don't care. Okay, so it was interesting, again, back to Brian Buffini and Dr. Lawrence Yun. The top reason for people to move in every category, whether you're a seller, a buyer, a first-time buyer, a re-buying something, whatever you call that.
Wait, let me guess. Life change.
No.
No.
No, it actually wasn't. To be closer to friends and family. That was the
interesting
reason that people are buying houses and or moving. He also pointed out, and this is really important for all of us to remember, because I know a lot of LOs think that December, the entire month, is a vacation. Anything from Thanksgiving forward, they should just take it off and don't worry about anything. And I keep saying, get your tail to work. Do not let your foot off the gas. There is plenty of time for a break, but you have got to be positioning yourself for next year now, or you have a dead January, February. It's that simple. So a season of organization, according to Brian Buffini, reevaluate, reorganize, and plan, right? So I thought, and then how about this? This I loved. Well, okay. Some people won't love it. I have been a big proponent of, if you're not a professional, get the hell out of our businesses, whether it's mortgage or real estate, both. And we know that there are a lot of part-timers who do a deal just because they can make some money, and they don't know what they're doing. And these deals are not simple anymore. They're just not, if they ever were, but more now than ever. So NAR president Kevin Sears says that NAR has budgeted for 240,000 less realtors in 2026. They're expecting 20% less agents, but here's the great part, 14% more sales. And all the estimates that I've seen recently are forecasting 4% appreciation next year. And I think that is something for us to remember as we are helping people make decisions about what they're going to do with real estate. Katey, thoughts?
I have so many thoughts. First of all, I'll start with the beginning around this time of year. This was always my busiest time of year as a realtor, because everybody else stopped working and I did not. So I was always very, very busy November, December, January. Secondly, what you do today shows up in 90 days. It is rare, though it does happen, that somebody walks up to you and goes, hi, I need to refinance right now and I need it done in the next 10 days. Yes, it's possible that happens. And it's less possible if you are not talking to anybody about mortgage and real estate. I said, this is a best time of year to double the size of your database. Go to every event you can possibly think of, volunteer at every event, go make new friends in the holidays, go let people know what you do and how well you do it. And every time somebody asks you, what are rates, book an appointment. Do an annual mortgage review. Ask them, hey, rates are, you can Google rates. Like, it's not hard to find out what rates are, but that's not why people ask us. They ask us, how's the market or what are rates? Because it's deeply, deeply personal. Find out, hey, well, what's going on with you? What are you looking to do? What are you thinking about? And then, look, we all need a pipeline for the next 12 months. Well, I'm thinking maybe next summer when junior graduates from high school, we're thinking about maybe selling the house, and we're thinking about it. We're kicking it around. Well, let's have you make a decision with actual real numbers versus this, pie in the sky kind of guessing. Let's sit down and do a plan for you. And we can sit down in January, but I just booked an appointment for January 15th today, because it's like, so I'm like, let's put it on the calendar. Let's book an appointment. I don't care if it's in January. put it on the calendar. We can always move it if we need to, but let's book appointments. Wouldn't it be cool to start January 1st with a bunch of appointments already scheduled on your calendar from people that you met right now at every seasonal event that you can possibly attend? Go make a new friend. For those of you that are introverts and go, I don't want to go to all those parties, fine. Go to those parties with the intention of making 5 new contacts, exchange 5 business cards, text 5 new people to get contact information, and then you're out. Mission accomplished. Do the Irish goodbye. Just be out, and then you can go to the next thing or go home into your cave and recharge. So
okay, so I would just like to point out the Irish goodbye is not a thing, because I know this. I know an Irish person named Kevin Casey who it will take an hour to leave anything because
Takes about an hour.
And he feels that that is typical with all the Irish people he knows and is related to. So, but also if you're going, when you're going to these events, take someone with you that you're familiar with, so you have an anchor. Then you can just, like, when you're just feeling like, okay, I have had enough, then go and, stand by them for a minute, have a conversation with them, touch each other's shoulders, do whatever you need to do to ground yourself, and then move it along, because we must, and I mean must be in person. It is, I mean, COVID's over, get over it. The whole idea of we just stay at home and everything just happens magically is long dead. And people are still hanging on to the idea, oh, if just rates would go down, then everything, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm so sick of it. And the fact that I hang up on people if their first question is, what is the rate? I guess, should I work on that in 2026 or just keep...
Yes, please do. Please do. Please do.
It's working for me. I just think it's a dumb question. What is the rate should not be the first question a buyer asks, because, or a borrower in general, because if that is all they care about, they're missing the whole picture. They don't understand.
Well, Katey, Audery is famous for saying that's the stupidest damn question I ever heard in my life.
That is true.
Okay. All right. Okay. Do I have permission to challenge you, Audery?
You can challenge me, but it's not going to work. Go ahead. Give me your best shot.
So how often does somebody refinance or buy a house?
Well, every 11 years now, up from 5 to 7.
Okay, so what else would they know about mortgages that outside of rate? Do they even have a context in which to ask to start a conversation where they know nothing about mortgages? There's only one question they know to ask, because that's the only thing that we in the industry have trained them to ask. So they are saying, please help me. That's like, it's the only question I know how to ask is, what are rates? But I do not understand this. I do not have any sort of context in which to ask you more detailed questions, because you are speaking to me, or I know that you're bilingual and you speak numbers and statistics and programs and guidelines. I don't even know about guidelines yet, but like, they don't know. It's the same thing when a realtor gets asked, how's the market? Realtors have the same reaction you do. And all I'm saying to you, and I'm going to talk about this in my presentation, is that is the international sign for book an appointment, because they don't know anything else to ask.
Okay, so that is occasionally true. So, and I don't actually hang up on them. I want to, but I don't. And I do feel is that all they're asking, or are they open to another look at this? But again, my point is, rate shoppers, I'm not doing that. They can call.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about rates and the market. Okay, the answer to most real estate questions is it depends.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
Right. So, like, if I talk to somebody, say, if I used to get this also in recruiting, what's your split? And I'm like, it depends. What are we talking about?
Yep.
Right. If you're asking me what are rates, I'm going to say it depends, I know there's like 25 different things that determine rate. Well, hey, we're at a cocktail party. I don't know if we should talk about your alimony payments or how behind you are in your taxes, right? Because that's weird, right? Like, I'm not going to talk to you about rates because they don't mean anything. They don't mean anything to anybody. What matters is, what rate are you looking for? Oh, you want a 4% rate? We can absolutely do that. I just need you to drop 50 grand.
Or 100.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but I can get you any rate you want. That's not but what are we really, is it about the rate? Is it about your payment? Is it about long-term wealth? I don't have enough information to give you what your rate is until we sit down and have a conversation. Can we meet tomorrow or the day after?
We have good suggestions from the listeners. So someone said that was a bold challenge if somebody says that. Danny says, would you like to learn how borrowers qualify for the lowest premium rates? That's so polite, Danny. I'm so impressed. It depends. It depends. It depends. It depends.
It depends.
That is 100%. So yeah.
They
Anyway,
don't know. They don't know that look, the first time I understood I had been a realtor for 15 years. I'd run real estate offices. I had been speaking at mortgage and real estate events. I did not know there were like 25 different things that determined rate. I was active in the business and did not understand that. So the average consumer, there's no way that they understand it. No way.
Still today in 2020.
Yeah.
No, right. Of
I
course.
think it's more than 55 now.
What?
I think it's more than 55 now that determine the rate.
Yeah, way more. It's crazy.
Right. But most people don't know that. So the only question they do know to ask is what are rates? The only question they do know how to ask is how's the market? And it's not an eye roll. It's an opportunity. It's somebody literally asking, do your best, Audery. It's an opportunity to serve somebody and be an expert and frankly, to show off a little bit.
Well, God knows. Kevin, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, not into showing off.
No, not it. My point is, rate shoppers, I'm out. But you are correct because, and again, even the regulators really, really push they really push shop, rates. But the latest surveys are showing that 75% of the people, the borrowers, are going with the first or maybe second, but mostly the first person they talk to. So being ready for whatever is coming up next is really, really critically important. I think that this idea that lower rates are going to fix everything is a fool's errand. I think as an industry, we would be much better served to focus on purchases like we did when I started in the business, when, dinosaurs walked the earth. And the idea that you get a refinance that's great. I mean, I love refinances too, but that is not the core of our business because it is so rate dependent. So let's get back to, we need a place to live. This is a big asset. Let's make sure we manage it correctly. And we are the professionals who guide that. Not an order taker who someone calls and says, what's the rate? You tell them what your lowest rate is. You get into a battle with, bankrate.com or whatever the hell it is. And it's just ridiculous. So, Katey, let's talk about how to put together a 6-minute business plan. Because for some people on here, that's all we're going to get this year. And it is definitely better than not having a plan at all. It can also be the first building block in a bigger, more defined plan. So let's see what you got.
All right. So I just want to set expectations about what this is. So the 6-minute business plan, I'm going to share my screen, I think. So be very, very afraid. We're going to see how this goes. We're going to start from the beginning.
Abilities, Katey.
Come on, there we go. Got it?
Yep.
Okay, I have difficulty seeing the chat box. So chat box, excuse me. So please interrupt me with questions. That's my number one thing. For people who don't know me, let me just give my background. I'm Katey Dallosto. I'm known as Coach Katey in both the mortgage and real estate industry. You can find me on social media on Coach Katey everywhere. I have been a realtor for 21 years. I have been a national speaker and trainer since 2008. I wrote a book in 2016. I've written my second book, which should be published next year. I guess it's like once every 10 years, apparently I write a book. And I'm an expert at real estate partnerships. So I've worked for a mortgage company. I'm currently working for Guaranteed Rate as a sales coach, coaching loan officers. I've never once done a loan, and I have coached, trained, and managed loan officers. I'm also an expert in real estate tech. So anything where realtors have an opportunity to partner, whether it's with a tech tool, a tech company, a mortgage company, that's my happy place, is creating partnerships. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. This 6-minute business plan is for you as loan officers. And I'm going to show you, this is a bit of a train the trainer opportunity. So this is the same process you can do for meeting with your real estate partners. And so it is 6 minutes. It is quick. It's great when you are calling them to book the appointment. It's like, hey, I did it myself. It really was 6 minutes. Would love to show it, give you one as well. And then Audery and I were, okay, I'll blame myself. I was having technical issues getting the PDF over to Audery, but the intention is to get that to you by the end of the day so that you have it. So we'll take it from there. Okay. And you guys interrupt me, please, with any questions. All right.
Hang on. If somebody wants to get the PDF, just email me at audrey@mortgagepros411.com. And once I get it from Katey, I'll shoot it over to you. Okay.
Perfect. All right. This is the idea around the 6-minute business plan. A plan written down is statistically more likely to actually happen than a goal that you kind of think about. If you share it with somebody else, that statistic continues to improve. So not only do you have an opportunity to support your own business, you can also support the business of your real estate partner when you share each other's goals, because then everybody is supporting each other and it just ups the ante out there 100%. Okay. All right, so this is the 6-minute business plan. Oh man, I got a typo in here. All right, anyway, financial goal for 2026. I meant to put, if you say a goal is $150,000, what does that money do for you? What does it do for you? So I forgot 2 more words on that thing. But the idea is that I need to know, your manager needs to know, your accountability partner, your best friend, your family members, your kids need to know, what does this money do for your life? And if you want to add an extra 0 to any of these numbers, this is just math. And so make it really simple so that you can see what you need to do going from here. I'll moving you and Kevin up higher so I can see you now. Okay. And then you need to know, what is your average commission check? So again, whatever that is for you, I just did this to help it make the math a little bit easier for me going through this, but whatever this is, make that number works for you. So if your average commission check is $3,000 and you want to make 150,000, then you need to do 50 transactions. Okay, good. We good with that math? Everybody good? Okay. Now we need to do 50 transactions. I am estimating that you're going to have 80 appointments and you will know your own conversion rate. If you need 80 appointments to get 50 closed transactions, it's 80 credit pulls to do 50 transactions. You will need to know what that is. And then how many leads do I need to get 80 appointments to close 50 transactions? All right. And okay, if everyone's overwhelmed, raise your hand. Overwhelmed with 240 leads. That seems like a lot. Oh my God, how am I going to do that? Ready? Did I scare everybody yet?
No.
Okay. Dang it. All right. Now, here's what I want you guys to think about. There's 52 weeks in a year. I only want you to work 40 of them.
Oh.
Okay. Now, a week's working is a week of active lead generation. The week of Thanksgiving, where you were in your sweats and you were available if the phone rang, is different than actively working. Right? You guys understand the difference? So 12 weeks out of your business, vacation. Hey, you want to take that week of vacation of Thanksgiving? You're going to kick it. You're going to be in your sweats and your comfy Thanksgiving clothes. Put your feet up, watch a lot of movies, hang out with friends and family. Awesome. And this, what it does is it actually helps create your year. Get one of those big giant year-long calendars and block out 12 weeks. Like, are you going to go to industry events? Are you going to go to a real estate event? Are you planning on every quarter taking a couple of days to evaluate at the end of one quarter and what you need to shift for the next quarter? Do you take a family vacation? Do you go visit grandma? I don't know. You know. One of the realtors I used to coach, she blocked her calendar out and prepaid vacations at the beginning of the year. She went on vacation every 8 weeks. When she was on, she was on, and when she was off, she was off. And I mean, booked the cruises and put the deposits down and all the things. So she had that day before vacation syndrome all the time, because she would get back from one vacation and have 8 weeks to get her work done before the next vacation started. So what happens when you create this shortened time frame We've all had that experience of the day before vacation where you're like the most efficient person on earth. That happens when you shrink down your weeks, and you don't have to worry about, oh, I need to take some time off. No, it's already on your calendar and it's booked. All right. So now we're working 40 weeks a year. So that means you need 6 leads a week, right? 6 times 40 is 240. 6 leads a week. I believe a lead is a ready, willing, and able borrower that's going to do something in the next 6 months. Some people like to do it 3 months. Some people like to do it a year. I like the 6-month number. And so you start building out that pipeline, and you're really comfortable what you got in the pipeline and what's coming out. And these person are doing this, and you have your pipeline ready to go. That's 2 appointments or apps per week, 1.5 transactions closed weekly, which is 50 closed transactions. Done.
All righty then. So we have a comment from Danny. He says he's not sure his liver can handle 12 weeks off a year.
You could go to take like a silent retreat. You could with no alcohol and a vegetarian menu in the Sierras. There's lots of things you can do that don't involve alcohol, but I know it's difficult for us in this industry to imagine a world where you could take time off and not have alcohol. So that's very strange.
We always get more business right before we're going on vacation.
Yep.
During vacation. We have to know that
So if we go on vacation more, that's the trick.
Go on vacation more. Go on vacation.
For any business plan is go on vacation, because as soon as you think you're taking some time off, you are not. So, which I'm always happy about.
Yeah, no, so I have a whole class on managing your calendar and time blocking and taking vacation and what needs to get done in your week and all that kind of stuff. I know a loan officer that like from 6 to 8:30 every morning, he does all of his work that he knows is uninterrupted because the phone's not really starting to ring until closer to 9 a.m. So, so that he's proactive really early in the morning and then more reactive from like 8:30 to 4:30. When I was running a large real estate office, I left the office at 2:00 3 days a week. It was an office of 225 agents. I had a staff of 6. Right. I left to go pick up my kids from school. And those days I was incredibly efficient because I had to be out the door at 2:00 to pick up my kids.
Yeah.
Nobody else was going to get them. So it wasn't, I became massively efficient on the 2 days a week that I was there till 5. I think I got half the work done because I got plenty of time. And then, all of a sudden
it is amazing what a deadline will do.
Yes. So I'm always a fan of take more vacation. When you book it out ahead of time and really look if this is where I'm going to be, and you start to create that energy of effectiveness and efficiencies, and you find a buddy, right? Find a buddy that's doing the same thing, and you alternate how you can back each other up during those times. All right. Any questions on that from a loan officer perspective?
I love that idea. You can break it down into quarters. Your numbers.
Yeah, you can do 10. Yeah, you can do 10 weeks. You can work 10 weeks a quarter. That works too.
Yeah.
So some people do that. They look to do 10-week quarters, and you have 2 weeks.
You get a 3-week vacation every quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or I know people that split it up. They're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to work 10 weeks, but I don't work on Fridays, or I don't work on the weekends, or I'm going to work, take off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever. You get to run your business your way.
Yep.
Yeah. I think if we're being realistic in our business on this end, you do need to be available more than taking 3 days off a week is going to handicap you with a lot of your referral partners and a lot of your borrowers. So, but I think that finding a way to find some balance in all this and having time to do the things that are important to you and your health and all the things outside of work are terribly important. I've also found in the last number of years that like I love going to Europe because it's 8 hours ahead time wise. So I can go play all day. West Coast opens up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, wherever you are in Europe or UK. And you can get what you need to get done. And I also finally, it took me so many years. So when I'm, preaching, for God's sake, write things down, have a to-do list, all that stuff. It's because I finally started doing it and it changed my life. So all the different loans that I've embraced, all the different, you have to have strategy. You have to have a plan. And to Kevin's point, which I think is really, really important, is yes, you start with the year and then you break it into quarters, but then you really have to figure out what am I doing this week and have it written down. Who are you calling? Who is on your list? I mean, you've got to really do put more energy and effort into all of that than I ever thought I could, would, wanted to, had any interest in, because I was like, whatever. I was supposed to get a loan, I would get a loan. It was a speaking
Using the force to get business is awesome.
really did for way too long in this business, but it's much better if there's more structure around all of this.
Right. And this is what is the same process for realtors. So you can take this process and do the exact same thing with realtors. We use the exact same numbers, say their commission check is 10,000. So they only need one lead a week, but find out what the number is, right? Find out what the number is as far as how many leads they need a week in 40 weeks a year. Find out, like, what does this money mean to them? Is it the Disney cruise for all of the entire family? Is it to buy a vacation home? Is it to fund a charity? Is it college? I don't know what it is, but neither do you, because we don't ever stop to ask.
Right.
And so finding out, because it's much easier to motivate me if you know what my money is tied to. Like, also right now, I am laser beam focused on buying a condominium in San Francisco. Like, I am laser beam. So any opportunity for me is tied to, does that get me closer to that specific goal? And so, and people that are in my inner circle know that and are like, okay, here, we got an opportunity, or something's coming up. And it's all about getting that one step closer to do that, which is why my book is a manuscript right now and hasn't been published, because the publishing takes a long time. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get to that. Manuscript's done, I'll get it published eventually. So these are the kind of thing you can use the exact same process with realtors, because most of them, if they do have a business plan, they did it in January and haven't looked at it since. The one we're going to send you is a one-pager. They can take a picture of it and have it with them everywhere. I'm in a hotel room right now. Mine is taped up to the wall. I bring mine with me everywhere I go. And I tape it up on the wall at every hotel, wherever I am. When I was in my cousin's basement, all the things. So it's all of these good things. So do I have a couple more minutes?
You have a couple more minutes. So I just want to quickly say, if you're wondering whether realtors might be interested in this planning idea and maybe some accountability, the average realtor makes $41,700 a year. A year. Do you hear me, people? They are not killing it. So they're definitely in a place where they need more training. They need to know how to negotiate a contract. They need to know how to be proactive, and they need to have a plan. So be an asset for your realtors and anyone who doesn't have a plan.
Yep. So let me ask you this. What is the number one thing, you can put it in the chat, that realtors ask you for? Every time a realtor is like, can you give me, and fill in the blank. What do they want? Put it in the chat. This is interactive. Audery, can read them as they come out, Audery.
Buyers. They want buyers.
They want buyers. What else?
Flyers. They want buyers and flyers.
Buyers and flyer. Good God. Okay.
They probably want some sellers though too, but that's just me.
Right, but what's that same what's that umbrella under? They have buyers and sellers. What do they want?
It says leads.
Leads. That's what I was looking for. Leads. So here I'm going to go over this with you. The lost leads conversation. I don't remember if I shared this with this group or not before, but the lost leads conversation is about what realtors don't understand. Somebody says, well, I'd work with you if you give me some leads. Say, awesome. Can I ask you a couple quick questions? And they will say, yes. Awesome. How many current transactions did you close in 2025? And I'm just going to give examples of, this is obviously not the agent that did $40,000, an above average agent, but it doesn't matter if they say 3 or 300 transactions, whatever number they say awesome. Congratulations. Doesn't matter what number they say. All right. The best part about this process is that it doesn't matter what the answer is to any of these questions. So this is what's fun. There's no right answer. Example is this case 25. Awesome. How many conversations did you have to close those transactions? And how I usually do, agents get overwhelmed. when I asked that question. And I said, how many times a week does somebody ask you, how's the market? And they do the eye roll. Oh my God, I get that all the time. I get stopped at the grocery store and at the coffee shop. Blah, blah. Great. How many times? How often do you open houses? How often, so how many times in an average week does somebody talk to you about real estate where they ask you, how's the market, or some conversation at open house, etc.? Usually it's 10. And then I say, great. How many weeks a year do you work? And they'll say 50. So 10 times 50 is 500. So it doesn't matter what number they say. You guys follow me with this so far? All right. Next thing. All I want to know is if you sold 25, if you worked with 25 people, what happened to the other 475 other people that did not buy or sell real estate with you?
Yeah. Great
Most
question.
realtors do not use a CRM. They don't use the one that's been given to them as part of their hiring package at a real estate company. They have no system for following up. Realtors are paid for relationships, not systems and tracking. Okay. So I want to know what happened to those 475 agents. And I said, okay, how many of those people bought or sold with somebody else? And realtors will typically say 10%, which I round up to 48. The NAR statistics say 40%. People are not asking that question because they don't know the data. They can Google, how's the market? Heck, they can Google their own address. That's not why they're asking realtors, how's the market? They're asking it because they need help. They don't understand our business at all. So but doesn't matter, whatever number they say, 5%. So I've had people say 50%, which I was like, okay, but whatever number they say, take it. So in this case, I went low, 10%, 48. And usually I'll say, hey, can I round up to 50 just for doing math purposes? Fine. How many of those people might have bought or sold with you if you had a system to stay in touch? And then of that 50, a lot of realtors will say half. Awesome. So that's 25 additional transactions you could have closed in 2025 if you'd have had a system to stay in touch. Oh, wow, that turned out goofy. Sorry. So if their average commission check is $10,000, that's $250,000 in lost commission. This is the part where they cry.
Yeah.
I've actually done this in a real estate office meeting where I asked for a volunteer. The guy's number turned out to be $1 million. You could have heard a pin drop in the place.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sobering for sure.
I want you all to think about that with the what are rates question.
I had an interesting conversation with someone this week who, again, was at an event and they came up to me and we started talking and they were saying, well, what do I do? All my clients have 2.5% rates, blah, blah, blah. And I said, we keep forgetting that not only does a lot of people are living in their rate and they want a different house and a different life. And at some point,
I like that line.
thank you very much for this rate that I've had that was artificial, that I was granted because of a lot of QE from the federal government, but it's not a real rate. So you enjoyed that, but you have a life and you have a certain amount of time to live that life. Where do you want to live it? Do you want to live it where you are, beholden to a rate, or do you want a real life? And you also might remember that they have children and grandchildren, and maybe they want to buy a second home or an investment property, or maybe they have 2.5%, but $100,000 in credit card debt at 32%. And maybe if you start doing the math, you see where I'm going with this. So the takeaway from this conversation was he was going to, this holiday season, get on the phone with people and he was going to call and just say, hey, I'm just checking in to see how you're doing. It's been a while and I know you've got a great rate, and just see where the conversation leads them and touch base, communicate, connect, all of that. I thought that was brilliant on his part and maybe something other people could try as well. Because
I'm a big fan of the annual mortgage review.
yep.
Right. And I tell realtors when I do this in a room or one-on-one with the realtor around this and they're sad, I'm like, look, what, if you had a system to help you stay in touch, would you like to learn about it? Because here's the thing. Realtors have access to systems. They do not use them typically. Some do. The lion's share do not. You as loan officers have systems and actually use them. So if every time somebody asks them, how's the market, they said, it depends. Why don't we schedule a time to talk about it? Great. Hey, have you done an annual mortgage review? No, I don't even know what that is. Awesome. Let me connect you with my mortgage partner, Audery. She's going to reach out to you and we'll, because it's really important to do that, because I'm just guessing, is your home your largest financial investment of your life? Most people say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't, I mean, if you haven't, if you're not, I'm sure you're reviewing your other investments. It's always good once a year to review your investments, including your home. Now we're having a very different conversation than the market's busy, the market's slow, there's not enough inventory, blah, blah, blah. That's garbage. That's not why somebody is asking you, how's the market or what are rates? They have something very specific in mind, and it is around their largest financial investment of their life and the number one indicator of generational wealth. And I will stop with my soapbox. Okay. These are realtor truths. Real estate is a lonely business. They don't get to celebrate with people in their office because that feels like showing off.
Or they don't go to their
Or what was that?
they don't go to their office anymore.
They don't go to their office at all.
Mistake.
It's a lonely business. They don't have anybody to celebrate with that understands this business. They don't have anybody to call when they said something stupid and just screwed up a deal. Or they hurt somebody's feelings. Or I can't believe I did that. And they need someone to pick them up. When I was selling real estate, I had a mortgage partner. We got together once a week and we used my accountability partner. When I ran a real estate office, my in-house loan officer, we shared a wall. She was next door to me. She was at every office meeting. She was my accountability partner and she kicked my butt. I'll say that more than once. Most realtors have never had a true partner. So when you come in talking about, I want to be your mortgage partner, you might as well say that you're the Loch Ness Monster. They have no idea what that means or what that looks like, or it's probably not real. No clue. So you're going to need to talk about what that means to be a partner and then have that definition for yourself and decide who you want to be a partner with in your real estate and mortgage business. Realtors get paid for their relationship skills, not their email reading skills. And realtors lack systems and get leads every single day. They just don't think of them as leads. So realtors ultimately do want a partner. They just don't know what that means. And it's scary and new because it doesn't make any sense to them because they've never experienced it.
Okay. I'm curious to hear from our listeners. How many of you have accountability partners? How many people are connected with somebody that you compare notes with and stay on track? And how many would like that? I'm just like, let me know. Let us know in the chat. So, Katey, you also have a okay, there's one that doesn't. There's someone who would love it.
I gotta say, I used to have a realtor partner. And unfortunately, she decided that she was doing so well, she was going to retire. Yeah. And we used to get together, I wouldn't say every week, but at least every other week. And we would go through our goals and we would challenge each other and we would help each other out. And, sometimes I could help her achieve a goal and sometimes she could help me achieve a goal. And we literally just got together for coffee every other week and just kind of said, hey, where are you at with this? How many phone calls did you make? Where's your list of your leads? Where are you at? We're returning those lead calls. And we just held each other accountable. And back then, those were my best numbers.
Yep. Now, how many of you guys have been on a listing presentation?
I don't think I've ever been in a listing.
What? You want to be a business partner, go on a listing presentation with a realtor, and you have two jobs. One, shut up. Two, answer any finance related question. Maybe the third job is to edify the realtor. Say, oh my gosh, you're so lucky. You're meeting with he or she's amazing. They really know their stuff.
Okay, so Tony's asking if I'm offering to be his accountability partner, and knowing Tony the way I'd totally do it with him. I mean, be his accountability partner. Smart, he's on top of it. He does great business. Yeah, that's a yes, Tony. But if there was interest in this, I would be interested in maybe thinking about that for the new year. So let me know your thoughts on that. Katey, I want to take a few minutes and go through some of your 8 million lead generation ideas. You literally have a list of 101 of them.
I
I
do.
printed out just in case it wasn't handy for you. So, do you have it handy?
Nope, but go for it.
All
I
right,
know most of them.
I'm gonna go fast, people. You ready? Okay. Advertising. Now, I haven't seen anyone on a mortgage person on a billboard lately, but okay. Billboard, shopping carts, newspaper, local magazine, theaters, TV, radio. Mortgage companies, title companies, inspectors, appraisers, movers, financial planners. These are people you could be connecting with, meeting at parties, talking to. Realtors, realtor seminars, regional directors, managers, team leaders, office administrators, teaching, alliances with hospitals, Goodwill, hair and nail salon, blood banks, Lamaze classes. I guess that's smart. I don't know how you I don't know how you get your ass into that one without looking way.
You got to be a volunteer Lamaze partner.
Okay, that's a whole nother level of commitment. Divorce attorneys, judges, doctors, marriage counselors, CPAs, churches, stockbrokers, clients throwing move-in parties, before market preview parties, call past clients and friends, open houses, banks, HUD, VA, reverse mortgage, financial institutions. Hang on, there's more. And actually, this is gold at this part because when my kids were younger and I was room mom and I was president of Walnut Creek Little League, and I was on the swim team board, and I ran, I was co-chair of, oh God, it was nuts. But I got a lot of business from this. So PTA, field trips, band and choir, sports, booster clubs, teachers, principals, Girl, Boy Scouts, schools. That is a big one, kids. Okay. In the neighborhood, garage sales, parades, city holiday celebrations. Okay, who's door knocking? Are people knocking on doors still? Is that
Better be. How do you invite people to an open house otherwise?
mean, who answers their door to some random person? I'm sure as hell not doing that. But anyway, okay, moving right along because we'll run out
Did
of
you
time.
like not
I
go?
know
Didn't you go to
realtors that do
Catholic
that.
school and knock on doors to sell stuff?
Yeah.
And I still get the kids that sell stuff.
So when I was a little girl, I sold enough boxes of Girl Scout cookies when I was a brownie to go to summer camp. Trust me, I was going door to door all by myself and I was little. And I also just had an artistic period in my life when I was like 6 years old. And I drew pictures, paint or colored pictures. And depending on how amazing they were, I would peddle those door to door for 5 cents, 10 cents, or 25 cents until my parents found out I was doing that and were mortified. They didn't understand the entrepreneur that I was. They put a big kibosh on it. So yeah, I did plenty of door to door, but not now. Okay, okay.
Actually, one of my top realtors is what they do is they have for their open house, they have a neighborhood party.
That's
And they literally go around the neighborhood
Yep.
the week before and say, next Thursday, we're having a neighborhood party. We're going to show this open house, but it's also a chance for you to get together with your neighbors. And people show up. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, they want to come and see the house anyway. Might as well just
Yeah.
make them honest about it.
You
Come
know,
on by.
have sellers who are like, okay, I'll knock on doors, but I'm going to tell them to stay the hell out of my house and mind their own business. Okay, let me get through
Oh
the
my God. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Do you
I-
know how most houses are sold in neighborhoods is by people in the neighborhood saying, "Oh, hey, didn't you say you wanted to move to my neighborhood?" That happens all the time. All
No,
the
Mhm.
time.
oh, Katie,
And
like
also the other statistic, if it's a house goes up for sale on a listing on a block, another one is going to go too.
Yep. At least usually you get two more transactions from every house sold. And if you are driving people to your open houses and doing stuff with the neighbors and the neighbors like, oh, this is so much fun, and they get to know you, you don't even need to do it. That's a come list me call. And you
Yeah.
guys are gonna start going on listing presentations now. I'm so excited.
sellers are
Yeah.
going to be, oh my God, I've lived in this neighborhood for like 23 years. I'd never known anybody here. Now I don't want to move. I'm going to take my house off the market. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
So back to Katie's list in the neighborhood: garage sales, parade, city holiday celebrations, back to door knocking, expired listings, for sale by owners, go to the mall, professional buildings, farm and area, HOA associations, networking, chamber of commerce, past work events, networking groups, BNI, which I no longer roll my eyes at, by the way. So neat.
Wait. What do you not roll your eyes about?
BNI. So after years of Kevin beating the crap out of me that I needed to embrace that, I am in an amazing group, and they always talk about it. It all depends on what group you're in, right? Well, that is so true. So it's been great for me. Okay, niche. Back to Katie's list. We got to get through this. investor seminars, first-time buyer seminars, urban seminars, wedding conventions, and singles organizations. So number one, a huge percentage, according to NAR, of buyers indicate that they want to attend a seminar to understand the process before they go into the process. That is a thing. So put that on your list for 2026. Big time. And also, when looking at the list of who's buying houses, single people are a big chunk of them. Big,
Yep.
huge chunk. So don't ignore them. Okay. So then again,
Did she freeze?
personal interest, anything you're involved
She
in.
disappeared, Audrey.
Crap, really? Oh,
Yeah, start
okay.
over again. You got to start from the very beginning with step number one.
Did I get through the seminar thing?
Yes, like the seminars are fun, but yes, you got through that. You said we need to do the seminars to get them information.
Okay, so now we're on to personal interest, and I was just sharing that I go to knit one day a week, not a whole day, don't get me wrong, for an hour or two, and I've gotten to know these people, and now they're starting to refer me. So, I mean, again, so charities, running, biking, skiing, gym, personal trainers, country clubs, college alumni, apartment pool areas. Can you imagine loiter, hang out in the park, apartment?
No, you
Anyway,
go to the pool. You go by the pool at the apartment building.
bunko,
Come on
poker,
now.
shows, car shows, past spouses, that made the list. Okay, sales,
Totally.
car dealers, furniture stores. Okay, I'm going to skip through the rest of this, and then also want to get to, you point out that we have to be visible on Facebook, Twitter, Whole Foods, airplanes, and Whole Foods are on the same list. Starbucks, back of lot. Oh, that's interesting. Back of laptop, but don't use their internet because that's dangerous. Restaurants, Cheers bar, golf course, etc. So
Whose internet?
what?
You said don't use their internet. Who's they?
Internet. Don't use public internet. Period.
Oh.
Period. Don't roll your eyes at that. I'm right. And but
Well, I'm sure you are, but I don't have people's sensitive information like you guys do. So
yeah. I mean, we have states who are fining LOs $5,000 a pop for meeting their clients at Starbucks because plus, but even if you
I
walk
think that's one state.
how many states, and it could have spread. You don't know all.
And unfortunately, I think it's a state that Starbucks started in. It's the one that's the worst for.
That was the one. That is when it's
Like they're trying to kill their own business.
exactly.
who needs those taxes?
Who needs those proper income taxes from our own businesses? Let's crush them.
Okay, so just in case you guys want to say something other than Happy Festivus to your clients this month, you can remind them that it is Identity Theft Awareness Month, and remind them how to avoid scams during the holidays because they are up. I also wanted to point out, I don't know, I've really enjoyed doing this recently because MBA has always told us what the mortgage applications were for the week, and I've always been like, so what? But now I'm very interested in this because it gives us an indication of what we should have been doing this year. And according to MBA, purchases were up 3% week over week last week and 17% year over year. Purchases up 17% year over year.
Wow.
We're 4% week over week, not surprising, the week after or of Thanksgiving, but up 109% year over year. And I keep asking you, does your business reflect this? Do your closings, does your business reflect these kinds of numbers? Because if it doesn't, that's your fault. And you can fix it. That's the brilliant part. So we've just given you a whole bunch of ideas.
Wait, if you're saying my business is not up 17%, I need to fix it because mine's up 50%. So therefore I need to dial it back.
Back, I will put you in timeout and beat you all at the same time. Okay, so I just also wanted to mention this because it really sticks in my little craw. So D.R. Horton, which is a builder, was doing business and does business with DHI Mortgage, their lender. They're part of a class action lawsuit against them of more than 100,000 potential people. They allegedly suppressed escrow estimates using property tax estimates on unimproved land instead of the actual home. So people got into the property. They targeted allegedly, they targeted FHA borrowers. So here we have people who probably don't have as much down, don't have as many resources, and they're just operating on less. And then all of a sudden they find out that the new servicer gets their loans, they do an escrow analysis, and all of a sudden your payment is almost $1,000 more a month. And so I don't know why you're laughing. That is a nightmare. It is. Why are you laughing, young man? Get that smile off your face.
I'm just thinking, how the heck do you make that mistake?
I know. I know. So it's, by the way, they don't think it was a mistake. So what the hell were you thinking is really the question, allegedly, if this is true. And it's hard to
Well, I
think of.
still see people telling people that they get a tax deduction when they buy a house, and I'm like,
Some
you better
do.
work those numbers out. We were talking about this yesterday.
Who are not a tax advisor, do not give tax
No
advice.
way. Yep.
Okay, so I cannot believe we're out of time. I have so many more pages and pages and pages of things to go through, and we're gonna have to wait till next week. So, Katey, it went fast. We really appreciate you coming and sharing this with us.
My pleasure.
Please a reminder, if you want me to send you Katey's, I don't know what you're sending me, whether you're sending me the slides or the one pager, but please email me at Audery at mortgagepros411. Yeah.
And if you
And
need a really good realtor for that condo, I know one.
Thank you. I have one.
in the Bay Area. So anyway, all right.
I can also tell you which condos to avoid, like the plague.
Yes.
Yeah.
Biggest thing is what not to
The
buy.
ones are kind of going this way.
Yes. Yes. The Millennium Tower. That one I know. So.
Yeah. Well, that's not the only one. All right. Everyone, I want you working this week. Do you understand me? We have a mix of work and play. We don't just ditch it all and pretend on vacation for the next 4 weeks. No, you're going to do something. Okay. Okay. I love you.